everybody, it's Kiki with Sadhana Health and Wellness, and this is video number 1 where I am highlighting a different yoga pose, breaking down the pose, as well as going into the history and mythology behind the pose. So I am sitting in what is called Sukasana, which is easy pose. Suk meaning easy and asana meaning pose. And it is usually the starting position before you begin pranayama, which is the breathing exercises, or it's to help you to get centered before you prepare to do other sequences of poses. The other starting position is TADASANA, which is mountain pose, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. So, easy pose. The history behind easy pose. So if you remember in my previous video, I said that Shiva and Shakti were married. Well, without a spoiler, Shakti's name is Parvati in this particular instance, but I'll get into that later. So we're gonna say Shiva and Parvati, okay? Shiva was meditating. He is the master of the universe. So keeping his eyes open to be able to observe what's going on in the universe is very important. So he was sitting in meditation. You see, deities can meditate and see everything. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to a point where we can meditate and be able to see beyond our bodies. But he already could do that, so it was easy. So Shiva is sitting there, grand and majestic, meditating, where playful Parvati comes up behind him and she puts her hands over his eyes. His eyes cannot be closed. He needs to be able to see what's going on. So he creates a third eye in the center of his forehead to be able to observe the universe while his other two are closed. So we want to think that he is sitting in this easy pose with this third eye open. So we may sit in easy pose as a gesture with our palms open of surrender. We may put our hands in mudra, or you can just have them resting on your knees. And the idea is to close your eyes and to look up towards the third eye. And you can focus on that point. This is where we get our wisdom and are able to see when our eyes are closed. So, easy pose. So as you can see, I am sitting here on a yoga pillow, and this helps when you've got low back issues. It helps if you're very tight through the hips and into the groin. If you have knee issues, it's uncomfortable for some people to sit on the floor. So it depends on where I am in my day. Sometimes I can sit flat on the floor, and sometimes I like to sit on my yoga pillow. So, sitting on this pillow here, we cross our legs in any way that's comfortable. We sit up straight. Now, whether you're sitting on the floor or you're sitting on the cushion, you want to make sure that your sits bones, those bones at the bottom of your pelvis that we sit on, you want to make sure those are grounded and connected. So if you have a little extra cushion, if you have some juicy bits that are, kind of keeping you from grounding, just reach up under there and just kind of move it out of the way so that you can sit as close to the earth as possible. If it's uncomfortable for you to have your feet or ankles directly on the floor, you can use a blanket. I have a fuzzy blanket here that feels really good, and it helps pad. And sometimes, for some people, it may even be more comfortable to have blocks underneath the knees, like so. The pelvis is tilted in. You want your spine to be completely straight. Shoulders are back, away from your ears, and they are down. Your shoulder blades are resting down and into their sockets. Hands are loose and comfortable. Like I said, they're usually, you can have them up or you can place them down or in a mudra. So what is so great about sitting in this pose? Well, it helps relieve stress. It helps relieve anxiety. It induces a calmness of mind. It improves blood circulation in the spine, in the hips, in the legs, in the pelvis. It helps give blood flow to all of these core digestive muscles, all the core organs. It helps give you a fresh burst of energy, and it helps rejuvenate you. And one of the reasons why we do asanas, we do poses, so that we are actually able to sit in meditation. So did you know that? A lot of all the yoga poses that we do to strengthen the body and to make it more flexible is so that the main focus is to connect. The main focus is to find union. So meditation is a very big part of yoga. So if you have a weak back, what are you going to do? You're going to slump. You're going to be like this. You know, that's not very conducive to good meditation. You want that line, you want that channel open. You want all those energy centers, all those chakras to be aligned. You want to be able to sit up straight. You want to be able to naturally have those core muscles engaged and holding yourself upright. So that's one reason why I use the yoga pillow. So if you have some weakness in the back, I had a terrible time when I was first doing yogas because I had weak back muscles. So you can put a pillow behind you if you want to be more comfortable. Also, you don't have to be on the floor to do easy pose. If you're unable to get onto the floor, you have limited mobility, you can do easy pose in a chair. There's been so many times where I have done chair yoga or sat in this position in a chair. As long as you're sitting upright in the chair, cross your feet at the ankles. Just cross your legs at the ankles, and you're still getting the benefits of sitting in this pose. So again, starting pose. This is where we connect to the breath. This is where we look up towards our third eye. This is where we silently contemplate. This is where we silently listen for those answers and those things that we need to know. So thank you very much for joining me. The next video, I'm going to be tackling TADASANA, which is mountain pose. It's one of my favorites because it's strong and it's powerful. So until next time, namaste.